Commercial Construction Coffee Talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. Find us on the web. My name's David Corson. I'm your host. I'm also the publisher of Commercial Construction and Renovation magazine. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Springtime here in the ATL. Pollen everywhere, but it was pouring today. Thank God it just washed all of the green dust away. Just got done watching my University of Denver Pioneers. You could see that, trying to keep up with us. They just beat Villanova 18-10, staying undefeated in the Big East. They got to win the Big East to get in the big dance, but they're ranked number 5 in D1 men's lacrosse. Go Pios. Next up, Georgetown on the road, which they've already beaten once this year, but they're right behind them. Only one loss in the conference. So if we win next weekend, got St. John's, we win the division, then we go into the Big East tournament. Win that, we're in the big dance going into May. So I'm in a really good mood. Always love it when the Pios win. Have a great interview this afternoon with one of my longtime buds. Actually, well before I actually went out on my own, I met this guy, and he suggested, he goes, hey, I was like, you live up on the lake, you got a boat? He's like, yeah, I got a boat. I go, do you ski? He goes, yeah. I go, well, let's just do a sales meeting, and you can yank me out of the water, and we'll ski, and we'll talk to business, signage, digital, all that good stuff. And we've been friends since. And anyway, he does an awesome fireworks gig off the dock. That's all I can tell you. I got some great video of a couple years back of 4th of July. So taking cover, with the explosions and everything. That's one of my greatest videos ever. So anyway, I'm sitting here with Mr. Pete Monti. He's the president and CEO of FlashRight Displays up on Lake Lanier, off of exit 17 off 400 at 369 and Browns Ridge Road. If you guys know where that is, but it's on the northwest side of Lake Lanier. Pete, say hi to our guests out there on the web.
Hello, guests out there on the web.
Hey,
how is it?
Hey, we like doing these, late in the afternoon on a weekend. Nothing better than talking business, signage, and digital, and marketing, and merchandising, and all that stuff. So welcome to Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. Pete, we kind of do these in 3 segments. You got to tell your story, then we'll talk business, and then we'll close it out, just to give you the lay of the land. Kind of like a construction project, you got pre-con, you got con, and then you got the bunch list, and then you turn the keys over. So that's the way we're going to do it. So without further ado, Pete, tell us, where you grew up, where you went to school, if you got any cats, dogs, all that good stuff, how you ended up, I know you did a little alarm business, and then you got into, what you're doing today. So the floor is yours. Go for it.
All right. So, yeah, I'm originally from Massachusetts, another convert down here to the ATL. And so I moved down here back in the early 80s, and I have not moved since. So it's got the change of the seasons, like, the lake is great, come August, you want that fall, you want that cold weather. And so by January, February, you're ready for the warmth again. And that's exactly what's happening on. Yeah, so I live up here and was in the alarm business, like you mentioned. And we met right after that, the alarm business gig.
Mm-hmm.
And got into digital signage, and that was the next little ahead of my time, though. Back in '98, we were still pushing computers and DOS programs, JPEGs, back and forth to these flat screen TVs that were $10,000 a piece. So there wasn't much taking off of that, but we did get into stayed in the signage business with outdoor LEDs and systems integration and things like that. So, but that's it. Yeah. Live up here on the lake. Had my cat here for, didn't realize he was 16 years old. So I told the vet, I said, I got to get me a permit. You know what I mean? So he can drive me around. He's old enough to drive now, this cat.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Talking about DOS, I'm renovating my basement. So I had to clean out all my stuff, I had I had taxes back from like 1980 or something, anyway, but I found some floppy disks, and my son was helping me. He's like, oh my God, what are those? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, this was like what discs were, this is what you recorded on way back when, and he's like, oh my God, you still have that kind of stuff?
Yeah, was
And,
that
and
the
we,
five
and
and a
we had some
quarter?
old stuff. He's like, oh
Was it
man,
the 5 1/4? Or were you the, the
the
three and a
little
half?
square
All right.
ones. Yeah, the
Yeah.
little square ones. So anyway, he was laughing, and I was like, God, I don't even have anything to put him into. I've gotten rid of all that stuff.
Nope.
But anyway, he was laughing when he said DOS, and I was like, oh my God, I found the floppy disk the other day, and I chucked them and broke them in, because I forgot.
Well, you can't read them on anything, so you might as well.
Yeah, I didn't have any, I can't, so we broke them and put them in
Pictures
the
were too big
recycling.
to
See you
put on
later.
that back then.
Yeah,
Pictures.
yeah.
It was only
Yeah, that was high
spreadsheets
tech
and
back then.
Word docs.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So,
well, let's talk about your business. You got into signage and kind of went into the digital ranks. In fact, Pete, so you all know, if you ever get down here, you go over the Buford Dam. There's a digital sign that reads the level of the lake. Right now, the lake's at full pull because we're going into spring, summer, and it's rained all winter. Just like it rained today, it poured, but I think it was like 1070. But Pete got the Army Corps of Engineers and the management for Lake Lanier to put his digital reading of the level of the lake. Am I correct
the
on that?
LED. Yeah, what we've done with that particular project was just a typical LED sign that you'd see on a outside any restaurant or bank, but we integrated it specifically to interface with their depth level. So that was a special project, and it's still working now.
Yeah, every day, every time I go
I
by
can't
there,
even get a service call.
Hey.
So that's not good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't make any money off these things. They're too strong, or at least that one was a very well built unit.
Well, I normally take the back way to get up to Cumming, Georgia. I'll take the dam because I don't want to go up Highway 20 and all the traffic. So every time I go by there, I'm like, oh, there's Pete's sign, still working, man. Going through a lot of thunderstorms, snow, ice, and it's still on, still ticking and working.
Going.
Yeah, man. So reliability, you got to love it.
Well, that's how we developed the FlashRight also.
So go into that. Talk about it.
Yeah. So that's it was a long story. I'll cut it down though, but I was at one of the major QSRs talking about text messaging, one of these electronic new fangled way to communicate to people. Hey, you could text on your phone and get a coupon back. This goes once again back 10 plus years. And the operator wanted to, he said, well, we have a problem with our breakfast hangover, and then we're trying to turn that before we go to lunch. And so he has a waste. So I says, I got an idea for that. So I took my own alarm business hat, put that on, had some old parts in the storage warehouse, and made a flashing box that said breakfast still available, and threw it on his speaker post. So after about a week, he says, hey, you got to figure out some way to shut this out, because we had a time that it would come on at 10:30 and go off at 11. He says, you got to shut this thing off before that, because we're selling out the breakfast. So get him a little remote control. And next thing we know, he's saying, why are we selling breakfast when we could sell something else on this sign that does so well? So that was kind of the inception of FlashRight Display. So I went from prototype to so on and so forth. And now we've got full manufacturing for, since 2010, basically. Got a patent on the product. It automatically adjusts to light levels. So now we throw that in the drive-thru, and you can put different promotions on it. It's all interchangeable with the brackets that come with it. We can put it on any speaker post, any menu board system. And the benefit is that it sells one specific product. You put a promotion on it. You put some, some surround panel promotion. We call those surround panels. You put a product on it. It just flashes really slow, like you can see in the background. It takes the suggestive cell off of the order taker, which none of those order takers really like saying, hey, would you like pies with that? Would you like a pie?
Would you like a pie? Yeah. Would you like a shake?
I know, they get sick of saying it. Or you get a rude customer, if I wanted a pie, I'd ask for it, right? And that shuts them right down. And so this is just subliminal, works in the background. It's not obtrusive. It's easy to install. So it's been a great gig, really. I mean, this is, we've sold over 6,000 pieces nationwide. in 2014, and we're working with some of the larger QSRs and some
Yeah,
of
I know all
smaller
the
ones.
QSRs around here. You've done, most of them. If you go
What's
through
that?
the drive-through, at least in, I'm in Swanee, so
Yep.
we've got, all the major
Yep.
brands, but several of them have the thing blinking every time I
Right.
go through the drive-through. They're going there, and it's
Yep.
I laugh. Like I said, I go past the dam, I laugh. I go into these things in Swanee. I say go to the drive-through.
I'm
We're
everywhere.
there.
Well, with COVID now, unfortunately, everybody realized the drive-through was their main form of revenue.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, and I think it's going to stay that for. There's certain people aren't going to get out of their vehicles. So with all that technology of the apps, so on and so forth, it even brings in the FlashRight display more important to upsell that product, to suggestive sell something new, and it's just a low-tech way to do a high-tech, service of integrating your drive-through components.
Listen, restaurateurs, some of them took it on the chin. Some of them exploded, and now you won't even recognize QSR restaurants in general in 5 years. I mean, their restaurants won't even have dine-in. It's going to be pretty much either pick up or go to the drive-through.
Yep. Bring it out to you.
Yeah, I mean, I know that listen, Chick-fil-A is located here, just south of town in Peachtree City, but I know that they're doing a prototype project down in, I think it's in Norcross, or might be Duluth, anyway, or off Jimmy Carter Holcomb Bridge. Anyway, 8 lanes, 4 on either side. I don't think there's any dining in there, and
Yep.
it's just that's what it is. I talked to another guy the other day at our retreat. He just basically is a little, 700 to 900 square foot coffee gig. And they did, I don't know, they have a 325 unit chain. They did 65 units, and they just look for a little piece of land out in front of a strip center or a pad of dirt or whatever, and they build these things, and and he does some sandwiches and some pastries, but it's a coffee gig, and it's just unbelievable revenue. And people, it's it's what COVID has done. And I heard there was who was it? There was I think it was McDonald's. They had rented out a whole parking lot, and all they do is it's parking spots for pickup delivery, where people can use the app. They order their food, they come into their slot, and they just bring the food out to you, and it's already paid for. So it's like almost contactless, except for the bag going in there. But here was a strip center. They had all this space, nothing's going on because the store shut in there. They had the store there, so they thought about it and figured it out, and boom, there you go. And
well, the QSRs now have realized, obviously, that it is their main source of revenue, which we've already mentioned. But they've gotten really good. All of them have gotten really good at speed. And that's another benefit of this device. It doesn't slow down. It's not like something you have to really read. It's one precise message with a great die cut graphic. And I've never had one given back. Let me put it that way. When they test, well, I'll try it for my drive-through. I've never had anybody say I want my money back. So.
But the biggest thing is it increases sales by like 20 or 30%, right? On an average.
Average sale is 40%. So 40%. So average. So you might put something that's a simple add-on, pies, cookies. It's something everybody might buy. You'll get an 80 to 100% bump on that. You might get something special like a salad they want to push, some new product, or maybe even a drink that everybody's not into. Say frozen Coke or slushies or milkshakes in general. So you get a 20% bump, but at least you've got that. You pop in the promotional material. You don't have to worry about training the different people through the breaks. Make sure you're suggestive selling this. Make sure you're suggestive selling this. It's just there. It interfaces with digital, or the best part about it, interfaces with anything on the menu board, speaker post. And even if you're going digital, we have a lot of clients that digital is great for what it does. Day parting, instant updates of price, your prices. You can update that by area. guaranteed promotion delivery. You know, sometimes you send out POP, it doesn't always get put up in the drive-through. So, you know, so that's great for digital. However, digital can't do everything. That's, you know, it just doesn't have enough space, and it doesn't have the impact of one very slowly flashing red light saying, buy me, you know, with a great graphic around it.
But they pay for themselves. There's a return on investment.
Pays for itself.
Pays for
ROI
itself. You put it in,
typically,
it works, it pays for itself, and then you keep making money off it, right?
yep, 90 days, usually you'll get your money back out of it. So it's just one of those things that it's, keep it simple. You know, the old KISS factor. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Isn't that how they like that?
Yeah, and they don't even have to be QSR. You could put them on by the gas pumps. When they're
Well, the gas pumps are a little tricky because of the fumes, and it is, you know, low voltage, but that's a little tricky. But, you know, banks, you know, you can do it in banks, any drive-through. You know, a lot of what I've seen a big uptick in drive-through is drugstores. All of a sudden, Walgreens, or, you know, they have just some of them. I think some CVS have really pushed their drive-through option. And this is the first time I've ever thought of drive-through. What do you know, I go into the pharmacy, but since COVID, again, I've seen that line 3-4 deep. And so that's another great place to put these things.
Yeah, I just went to, I just went through the Kroger drive-through, went through the pharmacy that, you know, I called my medicine, I had to pick it
Kroger's
up.
got a drive-through, right?
Anyway, it was 5 deep. I'm sitting there with my son. They could have had a couple of them there, you know, because I have to go into the store eventually, you know. I mean, I guess they have curb, but I like going in the store, you know, if I need to, or my wife does. But you're sitting there, I could have been exposed for 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah,
even if I wouldn't, it would have been sitting in my mind going, oh man, I probably need to, you know, that sounds pretty good.
Reminders, simple things. Maybe they could throw food. Don't forget a gift card. Maybe people are going to parties. They can throw a half dozen gift cards through there real quick. It's top of mind, suggestive sell. It's just an inexpensive way to keep a message going without the big expense of what I got into before and still, you know, work with is digital signage. It's a flat screen, it's programming, it's network. This thing goes in, it goes in about an hour in any installation. It runs for years. Our first, you know, we did 6,000 pieces back in 2014, and they're still running.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, because I don't get any, you know, I only get them, they don't have to buy anymore.
Yeah. You go in and they work.
Yeah, exactly. And
so hopefully, you know, when the franchises get open more stores, they're going to go put more in. Hey, I got to go to FlashRight to get my stuff.
That's exactly what they do. And we supply we can do everything from A to Z, custom make your promotional material, or we can get you started and hand you off. If you're a larger client, we can hand you off to your existing POP people. So we're not locking anybody in. So we can service the small guy with like you said, the pad of dirt on the front that's just doing coffee and making a killing, or we can do a large chain of, you know, 10,000 locations and roll this program right into their, you know, marketing mix. So,
but the biggest thing I remember when you were launching it, you know, you did some tests with some, you know, local operators, and you have the data that proves that you get the ROI on the devices, and it actually does increase sales for product that you want to push.
Yep, it's product specific, I'll say that, but whatever you put on there sells, and it sells big. So it's a great add-on, like I say, to any drive-through configuration. It's not hard to operate, and it takes a big load off of the order taker for suggestive sell.
Yeah.
Most people will try a set, and then everybody wants their own data icon. I can give you spreadsheet and copies of data I get from operators or franchisees, and they all want their own test. And I'm fine with that. I actually like it because I say, okay, what do you want to do? Here's some good suggestions. And they're calling me back within 30 days. Wow, this thing is unbelievable, you know, and they're doing their own stores, or we're going up the chain and doing, you know, doing a regional or you know, you know, co-op by co-op. So But
I'm
it's a
just
good
thinking like
product.
if you went eat like we've got who do I have locally like Riverside Pizza. Okay, I go through
Right.
the drive-through in there. But if they had one of those things, I know people go inside there. They could have maybe have them blinking on by where hey, pick up a soda, 32 ounce or 64 ounce or whatever.
We've actually done inside of the QSRs also, same effect. So it does work like that. So if you had only maybe still a pickup, and maybe you were just having just pickup line, where you don't have a drive-through, but you have a big, take to go presence, that can be right there at the cash register, and you can put a promotion like you're exactly right. Add the 2 liter for $1.99 or something.
Mhm.
Maybe I had a person want to sell more of their salad dressing. They sold a custom salad dressing. It was a pizza place, sandwiches, pizzas, and custom salads. And they wanted to sell more of their salad dressing. So that's a perfect item. $3.99 for salad dressing. It probably costs them all of maybe 75 cents to get it bottled in their own brand, and they're making high profit. So people come in and, hey, let me have that salad dressing. It's definitely it works, grabs everybody's attention. It's non-obtrusive, and does, like you say, it turns product. So
Absolutely. So
yeah, so it's been a good thing, and we've added on to it too. We've gone to new lenses with more of a red to it, so it makes it look more digital. We used to use a clear lens, but
mhm.
we're paying the extra price for the red, but it makes it actually look more digital. That like an LCD or a tight pitch LED sign. So I've been in a meeting before at one of the larger brands, and we were sitting in the lobby, and I had it flashing, and we are literally from here, we're sitting in one of those little nooks, and one of the managers said, "So how do I reprogram that?" And I go, they're looking at it thinking it's digital, and here's
Right.
somebody it's I'm telling them it's like it's flashing right there. And I said, this is the benefit of it. You don't need a username and password. You just here, take this little key, and there's a special way to pop this panel out, and you snap the new one in. Anybody can do it, and your new promotion's off and running. Not, oh, I need graphics. What's our username? Oh, the manager has that. What time is it going to be uploaded? The bad part, it's not day part, but you put some product in, let it run for a week, and change it out. But most of the people run a promotion for a month to 6 weeks. That's their typical. I did have some very proactive franchisees, and he had his maintenance guy, when they would have to go out in the old days, they would change and rotate their menu boards. It was manual. He would change the FlashRight displays too, so they have a breakfast item on there. And then when he changed to lunch and switched it, the maintenance guy went ahead and changed it to, add a pie or something. So
Right.
it is
Mhm.
still doable. It is that fast to change it. It literally takes less than 15 seconds to change the surround panel and pop in a new surround panel.
Listen,
So
through the pandemic, I mean, everything was, depending on where you were, drive-through was, king,
yeah,
and, if you wanted to get food. And so I'm sure most of your customers, thrive through there. And the
yep,
ones that had the little box flashing
yep, question,
probably got, more sales than the ones who didn't. Hate to say it
yep,
that way, but,
yeah.
that's, you know, um,
Yeah, they at the first part of the pandemic, unfortunately, it was, all hands on deck, and um, you know, lack of the word,
right.
let's save the ship type, what I mean. But now we've actually had a surge of the people that have had the units in reaching out to us. We do marketing, but we've had a lot of people that we haven't heard from in a while. Either they had
Mhm.
enough graphics and they only stuck with a few items, but they've reached out for some re-ups. And then we've had the real loyal ones that know it and have turned a few times or bought all new sets for specific products they've done and added on. So yeah, it's coming alive. It's great for the drive-through, and I can't really say enough about it right now. It's good. It works forever. It's got longevity, and
You know, what's cool is I remember coming up to your house and, you know, in your little workshop there, you know, Frankenstein's workshop. And I remember, you know, seeing the little box. He's like, hey, I'm going to push these things. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know,
that was still in the plastic.
This is going to be the wave of the future. I'm like, really? You know, and then all of a sudden, boom, I saw a couple here, a couple there, and they started getting around. And then, you know,
well, maybe the basic wave of the future. I know everybody's going digital, and that is a good way to go. But actually, I have digital customers right now, and because of how digital works, and like I said, I still do digital signage, and we met through digital signage back in '98, I think it was. You know.
Yeah.
And so digital is great, but it has its limitations, and this is has its limitations.
It's a no-brainer in my book.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's not a lot of money. If you're going to re-up to digital, you throw this in there, get some money, and you throw it away with your old equipment if you want, you know, 2 years from now. You know, I kind of equate this to, you know, digital is like the sports car in your family. You know, it's cool, sleek, it does whatever. But you know, when you need to go to you know, to a family outing and you want everybody in the same car, you know, or you need to go to Home Depot, you need that truck or that family vehicle, and this is it. You know, this is the thing that's always going to be there for you, selling something. And the digital is your sports car. You know, it's, you know, you're using all during the week, but you know, you need this thing, you know, also you need that second vehicle, and this is the second vehicle, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So if you know, if you're a QSR, if you're a bank, you know, if you're a petroleum, you know, or any type of retailer, and you're trying
anybody with a drive-thru.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you never know where you might put these things, but you know, if someone wanted to you know, reach out to you, how would they contact you?
Well, you can go to our website, which is FlashRightDisplays.com. And that's RIGHT, not one of the other ways that you could spell it. And there's a, you know, contact us right there, which is go right to our, you know, right to our sales team, and that will get your fastest response. Contact me direct at Pete@FlashRightDisplays.com also. But yeah, I'd love to see what your application would be and see how we can integrate it and make it interesting for a, you know, the drive-through, just to update it or add it into one of your marketing mix programs that you have and utilize it to increase add-on sales.
So as we end this, we always ask our guests to leave one word or phrase, you know, to our listeners out there in Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. So, you know, if you wanted to leave, you know, one positive note or so forth to our listeners out there, what would it be?
Go to your local drive-through today.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, because we all
There's
do.
Nothing wrong with that. I was there 2 times today. I went through one for my latte this morning, okay, and then, you know, it wasn't quite 11. I forgot that lunch didn't start until about 11 o'clock-ish. So then I had to do something in the grocery store, sipping on my latte. I went back to the drive-through, grabbed my lunch. So I went there 2 times. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know, you'd be amazed at how many times you probably go to the drive-through in a week. You know, you know, those of you out there, hey, you know, I know the retailers and the QSRs are thinking about it, but I mean, it's just the wave. It's today, and it's the wave of the future. So for those of you out there that want to get in touch with me, I'm always looking for editorial and stories. You know, it's like the lottery. If you don't buy a ticket, you can't win. If you don't send me something to look at, I can't post it. It can end up in the magazine, up on our social media. So if you want to send me something, you can get me at David C, like Cat David C, at CCR. It's Charlie Robert hyphen or a small dash mag, michaelapplegeorge.com. David C at CCR-mag.com. If you're not a subscriber, up on my homepage, there's a subscribe button. Please click on it, and we'd love to, you know, get, you know, seeing the magazine and so forth. I've got my new issue with Patel Brothers Supermarkets, largest Indian American supermarket chains, coming up on Monday. It'll be posted up on the web, and hopefully you'll take a look at it and like the issues. We've got our annual awards in there, I think a roofing report, and all the other bells and whistles. It's 152 pages. Looks awesome. But I look at everything. So if you send me something, I send it to the editorial staff. I look at it, I'll find a place for it as long as it's applicable. So send me something, and we'll take a look and we'll see if we can help you, get the word out. So Pete, pleasure seeing you. And I'm building my house up on the lake, so I'll be right across the water from you. And I'll see you in person here. And
I got a new pontoon boat, so I just bought my barbecue for it today. So a little swing out, have some shrimp on the barbie on the pontoon, enjoy the lake this summer.
Oh yeah, no, believe I'm coming up.
I
So
know.
yeah, my kid's like, hey, we have the dock, we need to put a boat in. So he looked at I think 3 boats in the last couple of days, and anyway, I told him, I said, look, you can do more with a pontoon boat than you can with a ski boat. And I like a whaler, but my wife and the son, oh, no whaler. And I'm like, I don't know, I like the whalers. You can do everything on them. I can bring the dogs on there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I said, look, you can do a lot more with the pontoon boat, but he wants to do he wants the ski boat because he wants to get on the wakeboard, and you need the pipes. Although you could probably retrofit him on the pontoon boat, but we'll see. It's his gig. I said, hey, you go for it. And, we'll get it because, the house is going to take about a year to build. So, well, Pete, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks for finding the time and coming on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. Say goodbye from Lake Lanier up in Cumming, Georgia.
Thank you, David. The same. And goodbye to everyone at Coffee Talk.
Yeah.
And, David, and we'll catch up soon as this weather breaks just a little bit more.
Yeah,
Another
absolutely.
week or so.
Hey, look, I'll take the rain because you know how it is. We need the water.
Yeah.
We need the water during the summer because they let the gate out, and they,
Yeah.
it's got to feed everybody downstream, and for the farmers in Florida and Alabama, and so. But for all you on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk, have a great rest of the weekend. Catch us next time on a future episode, and if you want to be a guest or a sponsor, reach out to me. And we'll make it happen as well. So good night from Swanee or Sugar Hill, Georgia. Pete, good night to you. Have a great rest of the weekend. And we will catch you next time on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk. And we're signing off. See you later, Pete. You're awesome, man.
Care.
Good to see you.
See you. Bye.
Adios.